But, Coach, if you give an opening statement, and then we'll turn it over for questions.
Yeah, well, again, appreciate you being here. Certainly thrilled with a win. First off, I'd just like to give Chattanooga a bunch of credit. Rusty, I've known a long time, and what a great year they had. We're really fortunate and excited to have a chance to win today. But just job they did, what they did last week, going on the road and winning the first round's a tough deal. But again, just hats off to them. But can't say enough about our staff, the job they did preparing our guys. I thought we had a great week of prep. Certainly get some guys healthy was big. But I just thought a complete football game, and the fact that I thought we played really well, ran the ball well, which I think I told our guys that whoever ran it the best was probably going to win this game, but we ran the ball well. Tyler not being in there for a month, certainly, he'll probably be a little sore tomorrow that he's been the last couple of weeks, but really solid offensively. And then defensively, I thought with the exception of some third downs in the first half, I thought they played really, really well. And then we were really solid in the kicking game. And, that's how we have to win games. And, we're not going to out-talent a lot of people. We have to grind to kind of find a way to win games. And that was one of those kinds of games today.
Start here on the right. Scott?
Coach, Chattanooga had 5 first downs in the first quarter, ended up in 9 game. What was the biggest difference, especially after that first drive for Chattanooga? What was the biggest difference on defense?
Well, we got off the field on third down. I think, and I just know we had a cold dead sack. We should have gotten on one of the third downs. I know they hit it. Guy made a great throw on a go route on a third down. He got it out of his hand. Maybe the other one was a scramble. Third down. I just think we got off the field on third down. Was the big key. And then we talked about starting the second half. We knew they were going to get the football and certainly play Travis made. He's made plays like that around here forever. And I wish he would have scored instead of us having to go knock it in, but I was glad we were able to do that. But I just think that was kind of the difference. Knew they weren't going to stand back and let him try to pass protect a lot of balls down the field, and he was going to get out of his hand, and they were going to try to protect him with a run game, which they were able to do a week ago, and that was really the difference. They couldn't run the ball consistently, and gave us a chance to get after it a little better.
Stay on the right, John Hooper.
Travis, just talk about on your interception and really the entire day, even though the defensive line or the defense didn't get a sack, how important was it to get those young quarterbacks that they had flushed out of the pocket, and how did that allow you to have the opportunity to make that play in the second half?
It really just starts in practice. We had a good week. Thanksgiving break was much needed for our team. We came back ready to go. We had a big challenge this week and had a great week of prep, and we knew that they had a young quarterback back there, so we tried to they protected him a little bit by the type of personnel they were in, and I was just able to make a play on that play.
Question, Beth?
Tyler, to be able to come back and have an impact, obviously started off with that interception. Did that kind of let it all just shake it off a little bit easier and get right into it? How did it feel getting back out there and being able to help lead your team and get a win? You guys wanted this win, especially after last year. It's the first thing you talked about when we were on the field at your guys' first practice this year.
Yeah, I'd like to say it was knocking off the rust, but I don't think I just played a bad play, bad decision, bad throw. But yeah, it was good. I got the good guys around me rallying, pat me on the back, saying it'll be all right. They trust me, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's good. Like you said, get out a win, and on to the quarterfinals, man. We're excited.
Monty, did you have one? Yeah. Right here in the front.
Here you go.
How many times have I seen Blackshear pick off a ball and streak down the sideline, or Tyler pull up and find somebody off on the right side? I mean, everything, you're worried about Tyler's time off it, but I mean, as a general, same thing, cohesiveness of the offensive line. It all looked very familiar, and I remember, Clay, you've often said, we haven't played our best game yet. This may not have been the best game, but there are a lot of cogs that were working right. I mean, how do you evaluate the program?
Yeah, I would say I thought we were pretty complete. You know, I felt like we were playing, you know, this team, and, you know, they had a few missing pieces today, so certainly, but thought just really complete offense, defense, and kicking game. And, you know, certainly Tyler's a huge part of that. I mean, it's not hard to see some of the plays he makes out there with his feet. And I know he'd like to have a couple of those throws back. And but, man, I thought the first deep ball he threw, maybe it was one of the better balls I've seen him throw. We should have caught. You know, maybe Luke could have caught the other one, you know, but, man, I thought he made a couple of great throws, and he kept plays alive. I think keys, you ask about 9 of 17 on third down, really against that defense. And, you know, I don't think many people have probably done that against them, and ability to run the ball consistently. And, you know, again, for us, we talk about staying balanced, and that's not always been 50-50. But, you know, and Jake and that group up front obviously played really solid, because that was a big challenge. Three of their four or all-conference guys, and I actually think the fourth guy probably should be too. But you know, it just solid all-around effort from everybody.
Go Bob, then Mark.
Me. Scott may want to ask this question himself because he already did with Rusty, but he was talking about kind of the lopsidedness of the FCS rankings and the seedings, where it seems like everybody is playing so they can go west, young man. What's your thought about the way that works, and how challenging does that make it for teams in the Southern Conference and just anybody east of the Mississippi?
Well, I think it's challenging. I will say I thought if we didn't get them, we'd get the winner of the Mercer first-round game. I thought that was going to come back through here no matter what we did. I thought we were probably going to get jumped. Now, we didn't play very well the last week of the season. I thought we were probably going to get jumped no matter what, because they do, you know. And then, you know, I certainly questioned a few things, but you know, I give them credit. They're good teams, really good teams. And, you know, I think in our division, you know, there's 5 or 6 places that's truly a different place to go and play. And, you know, we all have been around here a long time, and we had a couple of them in our league for a long time, where you go there and play, you know, it's enough to deal with that other team because they're pretty good. And then the environment, you know, and maybe the weather. But, you know, we're happy to be playing again. We don't care. We've been a great road team. I just think that's the makeup of who we are, and our kids are focused, and we're a mature group, and we played some of our best games on the road, you know, so it didn't really matter. I mean, would I love to be here next week? Yeah, I would, you know, so if I got to pick between those two teams, which I maybe would pull for, I'd probably pull for the one that's coming here. But if we got to go somewhere and play, we'll go somewhere and play. I mean, we've been to Columbia in front of sold-out SEC Stadium this year, and it was a tie game. And I thought it should have been tied at the half, and so that wasn't too big for us. You know, it's really more about the team that you're playing. So.
Right.
Quick follow-up.
You get Tyler to address that same thing as far as it seems like all the weight of the FCS is in the West, and you guys, it's almost like they say, well, you know, they're in the field, but we'll be playing these guys.
Yeah, I think that's just traditionally how it's been. The Dakotas and the Montanas been, you know, running the FCS. You know, and I think we all know it. It's got to go through them to go win a ball game. And, you know, we're about to find out if we're about to go play Montana here soon. But, I mean, you know, we got to knock off, I'm sure, the reigning national champ. You know, if we get far enough, it's probably going to be them. And, you know, that's just, you know, somebody's got to take the crown if it's going to be the West teams right now. Somebody's got to take the crown on the East Coast.
Mark.
Yeah, I'd like to start with Jake, but I'd like to hear from all 3 of you guys, the players on this. Job's not done yet, but to be part of the first Paladins team to make the FCS quarterfinals in 18 years, how special of an achievement is that for you all?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's just a credit to the group of guys we had come back from last year. And, you know, that feeling in San Antonio a year ago stuck around, and it's been the motivating factor for this season and how we've played and what we've been able to do. So just a credit to the guys in that locker room, and we're going to fight to keep everybody together for 1 week at a time.
Can you repeat that?
Keep going down the line.
Yeah, just your thoughts on being part of the first Paladins team to make the quarterfinals since 2005.
Yeah, like Jake was saying, it's the guys that decided to come back who had opportunity to go on with their life. And we knew we didn't want that feeling again. It was too much left out on the table. We was able to win an outright SoCon championship, and that's what we wanted to do, but the job is not finished yet.
Feels great. I mean, I haven't won much of my life, so the one playoff game is huge, and, you know, I'm just thankful and blessed I'm on this team. You know, a lot of guys around me are very, very talented, and, you know, I just like to think I'm a small piece, and, you know, we got a huge huge group of guys that are very confident in our ability, and we play like it. So we're not done yet.
Did you want Clay? Are you good?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's funny you say that. I was here in 2004 when we played James Madison right down the quarterfinals, and we missed an extra point. I think we fumbled on the one going in. We missed another field goal to put it away twice. And 2 weeks later, they win the national championship. We lose 14-13. And next week, next year we beat Appalachian here. And then we get sent up there in the semifinals, and kind of the same way. We had a chance to put them away in the fourth quarter, didn't. 2 weeks later, the next week they won the national championship. So, somebody brought one of those games up, and I still remember that feeling a little bit. So I think I just told our guys, let's just seize the moment. This opportunity's not going to come around again, and it's gone. And I think our guys, again, it started with preparation, and then certainly played really well in a lot of ways today.
Scott, then Monty.
Jay, at one point today, did you feel like you were really kind of imposing your will? You got Dominic back and Robinson back today, and it just seemed like at some point in today's game, it just felt like y'all were kind of doing what you wanted to do offensively, even as thoughtful it might have been.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was a single point where it felt like, okay, we're in control of this thing, because credit to them, I think that's the best front in the SoCon defensively. And I think something we harp on a lot just in our room is focusing on what we got to do, play in, play out, regardless of the outcome. So I don't think there was a singular point where we said, okay, the game's ours. I think it was more of just stay in the moment and focus on getting your job done on the next play. And then if you do that consecutively, it ends up in your favor.
Monty.
There's a lot of people when you go online who take the attitude that eventually everybody in this playoff is going to be clobbered by somebody, by South Dakota State or Montana or whoever. From the other side, rather than saying, ooh, we might have to go to Montana, are you excited to go to Montana, to be to another part of the country, to experience and see what it's like? I mean, that's a big part of this experience too, isn't it?
Well, I'll say this first of all. I don't think that game's played till 9 o'clock tonight Eastern time. So we'll see. And both those teams are really good. I've seen them both periodically throughout the year. So I certainly want to give Delaware any credence there as well. But no, again, I just think that's a little bit who we are. Our kids just don't. We got a mature group. We got a lot of really bright kids at Furman. That's one of the great things about working at Furman. They understand that. They know all that. But it's. I think the focus is sometimes a little better on the road. It's just it's today we had a roster limit, in the playoffs, and does that narrow the focus a little bit? Are there less distractions? I don't know, but obviously our focus was pretty good today, and we've been pretty good by and large on the road, and some tough places to play. I mean, our toughest games this year were on the road. So, if we got to go do it again, then we'll do it again.
Last question goes to John Hooper.
Coach, what now you get into a situation to where it's like non-conference play. What do you know about Montana, and what do you know about Delaware?
Not a lot. I have a coach. Rico Wright was here like a year ago. He's at Delaware. I really hadn't seen them a lot. I watched a little bit of their game last week when we had the bye. Great program, great history, great tradition. You can say the same thing about Montana. Coach Houck was at UNLV when I was there, and then I don't know. We played him in 2001, the national championship. I don't know if he was there then or not, but I know he's a good football coach everywhere he's ever been. And I've watched them, and I'll be honest with you, when I've watched them, I see Furman. I think they're built like we are. I think and I say that what they try to do and how they try to play. That's how we want to play. And they're tough, and that's what I see. They're talented, but I just said, I think I told my wife one day I was sitting there watching them. I said they look like what we try to want to look like. So I think we're tough out no matter where we go. And that's no guarantee, no win for us. But our guys will strap it up, and we'll be excited to go play. We'll need to have a great week of prep regardless, and just again be fun to be playing again.
Thanks to you all for your time, and good luck next week.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.